Hey, aloha, gang. Dr. Russ Rosen here, and welcome to Rosen Interviews the Greats. And we do have a great with us today, a very special guest, and that is Dr. Todd Stevens. Dr. Stevens, welcome aboard.
Hey, Russ, thanks so much for having me. This is such an honor. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good fun, good fun. So we've been working together for quite some time now. You've been absolutely killing it. There's some very specific things that we want to talk about today that I think the listeners are going to really it's gonna get a penny to drop of other things they can do to serve their mission as well as grow their practice. So
Absolutely.
we'll be jumping into that. Let's just get a quick hit. What got you into chiropractic, and then we'll jump into your present practice and move from there.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. It's probably been, I don't know, about 35 years ago. As most chiropractors, we become chiropractors because we were first a chiropractic patient. And I was suffering from some pretty severe migraines at the time, and I had tried conventional avenues to get those under control. And somebody in the church that we were attending at the time said, well, why don't you go see, his name was Brian. Brian has since passed away. But anyway, he's a chiropractor out in Denver. And they said, you should go see Brian. He helped me with my headaches. And so went in to see Brian, and he started adjusting me. And I've been 35 years now, and I'm migraine free. So, but anyway, that led me down the path of, I want to pursue something a little more holistic, a little more natural. I was in pre-med at the time, so I was heading down the medical route, and that changed my course. And so, long story short, migraines got corrected with chiropractic care, and that's what led me down the path of becoming a chiropractor. I've been a chiropractor now for next month it'll be 28 years.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy how time flies like that. I remember when I was in school, there was one person in my class that had never been to a chiropractor before. And, most all of us had a great experience. Unfortunately, for the last couple of decades, there have been so many that didn't have a great experience. They just thought of it as a great job.
Yeah.
But for those of us whose life was dramatically altered and saved by chiropractic, it sure puts a fire in our belly to go help more people. And you certainly have that fire. I want to talk a little bit about your present practice right now. So one of the things that we have been working on, and you've been so diligent about, and I'll say this for those who are listening, is that he'll laugh when I say this. One of the things that Dr. Todd and his wife Tina have been doing is integrating the systems into the practice. And was it the first time we talked about integrating systems? Did you just have it wired and you did all the systems perfectly after that first time?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Day one, we had them just wired. We were off and running, no problems. Yeah. I don't even know why we use your services anymore. Heck no.
Yeah. So many
No, we are still a work in progress.
yeah, but you're on this end of it now. Like you're really killing it with your systems.
Yep. We've integrated so many systems. When we first started, we were kind of flying by the seat of our pants, and you kind of took us, and we were all out here, and now we still have some fine tuning, but we're running pretty smooth right now, just since we started integrating the systems that you've recommended.
Yeah. I remember one call when things were going really well, you're doing really great. You go, I just don't think I need any more coaching at this time. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. My practice is full. I'm killing it. And I was saying, please, like I'm begging you, just stick with me to get these systems integrated. And then a little bit later, you're going, thank goodness, that we did that. So
yeah, the first few months, we were struggling with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Going back and reflecting on that, something you just said, we were thinking, I think we'll just stick with this, and that was good. And then all of a sudden, okay, we've got that going. Wait a minute. Okay, now it's making sense what he said about this. Maybe we should stick around just a little bit longer. So yeah, definitely makes sense.
Yeah. Good. Now you've been in your present practice, you have a very full practice. How long is it before when someone calls up to get as a new patient before they can get in right now?
Right. A new patient?
Yeah.
A new patient that, well, probably I don't know, within what? My wife is over in the corner, so she's kind of going, she's doing this. I don't know, within a week.
Okay, so you
We
can't.
we can get a new patient in. Yeah.
Okay, good. And you've got a full practice. You have made some interesting changes recently that we're going to be talking about, but you're doing this sports ministry program, which I thought was such a brilliant idea. And I wanted you to share what you're doing, why you're doing it. And although you do get some new folks from it, that wasn't your original intent, because
Mm.
you don't really have to do any marketing. It's really mostly just internal referrals. I think all internal referrals that are coming in. So you've got a
Yep.
great
No marketing.
yeah, no marketing. People are just coming in. You didn't do this sports ministry program for a marketing purpose, although obviously it has led to people coming wanting to see you. Tell us about the sports ministry program and why you're doing it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to start out with the why. The why is to serve. We want to serve our community, but number one, with mine and my wife's faith, we want to serve God. And so this was a perfect avenue for us to do that. And so an opportunity came up within our church. We were actually approached to be a part of this bigger thing. Initially, the sports ministry was going to be, how can we incorporate different sports? The guy that kind of prompted or spearheaded this idea, he's into soccer. And so we all kind of gathered. There was my wife and myself, and then there were two other couples from two local gyms. And we also have a gym with our practice. And so we had our three gyms represented in this initial meeting. And so it became something bigger than just sports, like soccer, softball, whatever. And it became something bigger. It's like, how can we serve our community? How can we educate our community? We live in the North Woods of Wisconsin. And so, especially during the winter months, it gets tough up here because we get a lot of dark days, and we don't see the sunshine for several days. We get lots of snow. So it can be quite depressing. So we were trying to come up with ways that we could really impact our community. And so we came up with this wellness ministry. And it started out, we just finished up the month of January. And what we did is we took just some simple concepts. We did 4 different events. So each Saturday of the month, we did an event. The first Saturday, we did a meal prep, which is what my wife Tina does. So it's amazing how many people need assistance in just simple meal prep. When I say simple, I don't want to just minimize that, but it's a huge demand. And so we were able to do a workshop on meal prepping. So she did a class on that. We had our church auditorium was full. And so we were able to,
Around how many
I would
people?
say we had probably about 70. I think we had about 70 people there. I mean, it was spread out with tables and stuff. We could have probably had more people, but we had to cap it a little bit just because we had to know how much food to bring and, that sort of thing. So she made power bowls. And so every person went home with the power bowl. It was huge. And then we had a Facebook group so everybody could kind of comment. We had content going into that Facebook group every single day. So she was able to post some more recipes, but people were commenting on, oh my gosh, this has been life-changing, just this one simple recipe, and just how much it's simplified their meal prep. They had no idea. And so that's keeping people, that's getting them healthy food. It's getting them good nutrition. And just seeing how simple it was. So then the following week, we went into functional movement, simple movement, stretches, some very simple, exercises that they could incorporate. And we did that within an hour's time. And we used bands, we used chairs, we used everything. So we had, probably same amount, 50 to 60 people that attended that one. And the beauty of this too is that after each event, we made ourselves available and people would come up. I mean, we were there for a good half hour or more just answering questions. And then I'll kind of get back to this in just a second, but then they're inquiring. So you're a chiropractor in town, oh, you have, another person, you have this gym or whatever. And so it just prompted more questions. Well, how can chiropractic help me? The third weekend we did mental health. So we had a gal come in and she spoke on SAD and just how to combat that, things you can do, through exercise, nutrition, meditation, breathing, and the such. And so that prompted even more questions. And so as a result of this, the last weekend we had a big celebration. We did just a 20-minute workout. And again, people coming up and asking, I've noticed this over the last 4 weeks. Is this something that you can help with? And we, our goal wasn't to gain new patients or gain new gym memberships or anything like that. It was just to serve a greater purpose and just teaching people about health, about nutrition, about, showing them how easy it is. And as a result, we ended up getting several new members in our gym, several new patients. It's just been amazing.
Yeah.
And it was a simple concept.
Yeah, it's a brilliant concept, and it's such a a good karma. It's such a good thing to do for these people. And yeah, you do get stuff in return, but these people, they now get you. They know
Yep.
you in front of people is a good thing. And when they do need help, you're where they're going to go. So this is one of those gifts that just will keep on giving, because you just went and gave, because you did a wonderful
Absolutely.
service for these people.
Well, and when you give, in my heart, when you give from a place of sincerity, when you give from your heart, it does come back to you. Not that that's the intention, but it does come back to you. So when you're truly serving, you're truly giving, man, we were truly blessed.
Yeah. And I'll say, for those of you listening, you may not be part of a church, you may not be wanting to do something like this, but just try and think outside of the box of where you could just go serve. And the intent truly when you're there is not so I can be bringing people in, but as you're sharing what it is that you do, there are people who need what it is that you offer, and you will
That's
end
right.
up getting folks from that. So again, it's just a
Right.
brilliant concept of what you guys put together there. All right.
Absolutely.
Now is I should have asked. I was thinking about it just about right before we got on the call. Can Tina jump on the call right now or not?
Yeah, she's right here.
Yeah. Let's grab her, and I'm gonna grab you back again. But I want to ask Tina a question. Oh yeah, you guys
Absolutely.
right there. That's good. So
Hello.
Hello, Tina. This is my Ken and Barbie. They're both gorgeous and in incredible shape. And so I want you to just talk about, you took this concept, you wanted to have a kitchen. It started off as an idea. We started talking about it a long time ago. As you were implementing the systems into the chiropractic practice, you were saying, I get it. Okay. Well, first of all, you guys did it with your gym. The same thing, you
Yep.
guys bought a gym and you got that thing killing it by integrating the same systems. And then you saw that, wow, I can do the same thing. Talk to me about what you've put together and what your growth has been like.
Yeah, so exactly that. When I saw the steps, it took it from a place of where it was a dream, something I thought about for years doing, but just couldn't figure out how to do it or how to get it started. I've been working in the chiropractic field with Todd for all of these years, but in the back of my mind, I always had this dream. I love nutrition. I love cooking. I love helping people to eat better and live better. But didn't know how to start my own business. And so learning the steps and just how to keep it organized and just knowing A, B, C, D, this is what you do. You make videos as you go, you teach people, keep it reproducible. That made it click for me to go, I can turn this from a dream into a reality. I can do this. And so just started out real small and didn't want to get over my head and just, walk in with a lot of debt. So just started out with a small cooler and took the first step of getting my commercial kitchen going, contacted the health department, took those steps. You were a big part of that too, because I don't know if you remember, but I had like this block where I didn't want to call the plumber because I knew that was like, once I do that and they dig into the building, I'm committed. And there was just a block there that was stopping me from doing that, but you helped work through that for me. And within minutes of our phone call that day, I called the plumber and everything took off from there. Went and got my license through the health department to be a food service manager and ordered the containers, got the meals planned out and started cooking. And it completely took off. I delegated, which I never used to be able to do, and got my daughter she works for us, got her doing the marketing and took that off my plate where I used to think I had to do everything, and I was able to break that down. And then got to do my fun part of starting to cook the meals started taking off faster than I could even think. Then I was getting outside orders. Hey, do you cater? Our church contacted us, wanted me to do the cooking classes. Now they're asking me to provide meals for all of their events. Different businesses are contacting me. Now sports teams are contacting me to do meals for fundraising or for like their weekend when they have tournaments and stuff, to provide healthy options for their vending stuff, which excites me to no end, because it used to be just candy bars and pop and cookies. And now there's going to be healthy options. The community is loving it. It's going crazy. So we called it Graze, and now it's the Graze Craze, because it's been a lot of fun. And now I've hired my first cook. And so now I have stepped back, reassessing, like you said, as you grow, you step back, you reorganize. And so have her cooking, and now I'm reorganizing, planning some more new meals and new ventures of other ways to serve in the community and grow my business. So
yeah, I love it. You guys, you've done it in the chiropractic practice, you've done it in the gym, you very quickly have done it in this food one. I mean, it was like after the first week, you were already like, oh my God, I'm busier than I thought I would be. And it just keeps growing. You know, for those of you who are listening, your present system cannot support your future growth. If you're doing everything right, it'll grow. That's just what happens. So we reorganize, make space and fill it, reorganize, make space and fill it, which you guys have been really great about. Again, at the beginning, we had some challenges around that. But you know, as of late, you guys are doing that in all three of these places, and therefore, that's just the normal, natural thing that happens is the growth. So, absolutely fantastic. Bring Todd back in. You guys can kind of snuggle up right here. So,
isn't she awesome?
She is. She is. I'm telling you, bugle swab. Send me a bugle swab. I can clone her. I can make a fortune. You make a fortune. Yeah,
oh, man.
It's a family business. You got your daughter there, you got her brand new baby in the office. You just built a room for a little
built her a nursery. Yeah,
she's the CEO now. Yes,
she runs the place. Yep.
I want to. One of the last coaching calls that we had was such a powerful one. I hope so for you, certainly for me, in the sense that we were talking about now what, and that happens as we grow and we hit all our goals, and now what. And if any of you are looking for an associate position, Doc cannot handle his load. We're trying to find an associate to come in. So if you're at all interested and you want to go somewhere where they've got the systems in place, right, and you can have a great mentor and save a decade of your life, right, or more, their contact information will be there. But in our last call, we were talking about, so now what, and how do I serve? And, you got a little bit of gray in your beard right now, and bending over ends up being a thing over time. And we were talking about some other things that interested you, some genetic testing and things like that. And we just went right back to the umbrella. So you remember the umbrella, my umbrella is, I help people get healthy, stay healthy, and have the best life possible. How do I do it? Well, there's all my tools, right? It might be through a series of talks, through chiropractic care, through nutrition, through like all the things that we do. So we went back to your umbrella, which I believe was, I provide people an avenue to live their best lives. Is that true? Is that what we?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So then if we look at that, is chiropractic a part of that? Can chiropractic be an avenue to allow people to live their best life?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can the gym be an avenue for people to live their best life?
Yes.
Can that sports ministry and education, will that fulfill that purpose? Yes. Food, not only being able to show them how to eat healthy, but for the people who don't want to do it or don't have the time to actually have prepared meals for people, is that a way to help people do it? Yes. The genetic testing that you're interested in, bringing on an associate, all of these things are under the umbrella of, I want to help people have an avenue to live their best life. It doesn't mean I have to be the person giving the adjustment, right?
Right.
I can be, but I can have someone else do that now, or some of it, and I can do all these other things as long as I, one, have the system in place to allow that to happen, and two, make
Yeah.
sure all of those are in alignment. If any of
Right.
those aren't in alignment with our mission, vision, purpose, there's going to be a contradiction and there will be destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. How is that all coming together for you now?
Can I share
Yeah.
a light bulb? So because of your genius recommendation to read the E-Myth,
Yeah.
my life has changed dramatically. Like you said, when we listened to it actually, but like you said, you are going to be like, did you crawl into my head and write this book? And that changed so much for me, where I was
You're trying
always,
to wear all three hats.
always the technician,
You know,
where it's like, oh, okay. And it feels so good to know, like you're saying, I don't have to do all the jobs. And then just to walk in and go, oh, wow, all these meals are made. I didn't have to do it. It's just freeing. So freedom.
Yeah.
So that's the word I was going to use. You know, how is it all coming together? There's freedom.
Yeah.
You know, we're experiencing some freedom. We're starting to see the freedom. There's still, you know, there's still some work ahead. But being able to see, you know, where, you know, not trying to wear all three hats. If you haven't read the E-Myth, highly recommend it. It talks about, you know, being the CEO, the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician. And if you try to be, you know, try to be all three, it's just going to crash. So having the systems in place, having everything align under your mission, under your purpose, so long as it's in line with that, it's going to work beautifully. But you have to be very clear. You used that statement with us so many times. You know, we need to get very clear on what our purpose is. Not only clear on it, but write it down, and know.
And if it doesn't fall under that, you don't do it.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's it.
So freedom.
So freedom, and can I work less and make more? Can I work less and have a bigger impact? Right?
Yes.
So I've mentioned this to you before. I did the tombstone exercise, and the tombstone exercise, for those of you who haven't done it, is you can spend. I was at a seminar. We spent, I don't know, 8 hours going over our life and blah blah blah, and writing about our life and what we want to be remembered for, etc. And then we had to whittle all that down to what would be on your tombstone. And mine is small pebble, huge ripple. Small pebble, huge ripple. Like, I'm never going to be a Tony Robbins character. I'm never going to be, any of these big folks, but I can have a huge impact. I can impact people like Todd and Tina. I can impact people like you who are listening, and you can go out and impact more people. So it's such a powerful thing. And I really want you all to see this one more time. The umbrella. I provide an avenue to help people have their best life possible. This is what these guys have pulled together. Chiropractic, well, obvious, but they're both athletes. I talked to Todd quite a bit about you do these ridiculous cross country snow, what is that?
The Berkey.
A Berkey.
It's the Berkey.
Yeah,
it's not that ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is. Absolutely. So he goes, well, then there's a gym that's right next door to us, and they want to sell it. I think I'll buy the gym. Oh, okay. We take a look at the umbrella and we go, where does that fit in here? Okay, that works. Education. I want to get out and do education. Does that fit under here? Yeah. Okay. Well, food. Well, that was just a natural. And again, for Tina, how long had you had that as a vision?
Years. Probably 15 years.
At least 15.
Once you guys got these in place, it was amazing to me how fast you put it together. It was just amazing.
I had all the dreams. I already knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how.
Yeah. And I'll mention, because when I'm coaching folks, oftentimes there will be a headspace issue and then a procedural issue, and we just cleared out one NET, emotional trauma from the past that kept you from being able to make the call. And it sounds so silly unless you've actually been there, which everybody has. It's just like, I have this hurdle I can't get over. And you were so funny when you said it. You were like, oh, I know this sounds silly. I know it sounds goofy. I just can't make the call. And to me, it's like, ding, ding, ding. Okay, well, that's not that you don't know how to make the call, right? You don't know
No.
when
Right.
to make the call. So we just cleared that out, and I got an email, I don't know, 15 minutes later, made the call, all is well. And from that moment on, everything is taken off. And you're really to the point that, automate, delegate, replicate. You're already moving into the replicate zone, which
Yeah.
is pretty phenomenal. And now Todd gets to look at, what's really interested me along with adjusting is genetic
Mhm.
testing. That's something that
Yep.
I'm really interested in. So now he, certainly as we get an associate in there, will be freed up to like put his energy and keep the fire in his belly and be excited about that. And then whatever else we want to put in there, it's simple because you've got the system in place to do it.
The
Yeah.
systems are in place. Yep. It wasn't overnight. There's a
Yeah,
lot of one-on-one coaching with you, my brother.
not one-on-one coaching, but that
And
is
getting past our quick-headedness
Yeah.
sometimes.
Getting out of our own way.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean that's for all of us. So great stuff. Really glad that we got to have this conversation. By the way, if they do want to get a hold of you, and then I'll put it in the contact information. What's the best way to get a hold of you if they're looking as far as an associate goes?
I would say email.
Okay, and
So
what is your email?
Todd Stevens 2009 at hotmail.com. Yes, it's still Hotmail.
Stop mail. Okay, so
And
Todd.
Stevens is Tephens.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Todd. Two D's.
Yep.
Yep.
Stevens with a PH
ENS.
2009
at
at
hotmail.com.
hotmail.com. Any last thoughts from either of you before we say aloha?
Just we're very grateful for what you have taught us and the change. When we first thought of hiring a coach, there's always that, you look at the expense, or at least for us, and especially if somebody is at all struggling or they're kind of just like they're not sure. And we even had people that said, well, you don't need a coach. What do you need a coach for? And hiring you was the best thing that we could have done because of how much we have multiplied since then. We look back and we're like, it's scary to think if we had not done that. So the thank you.
I would agree 100%. Yeah, we can't thank you enough. It's been amazing. And, just going through you have the systems in place in order for people to get the systems in place.
And you're not alone. It was that feeling of having a team and just knowing, okay, we'll ask Russ, or, just knowing that we had someone to coach us, someone that is in this with us. And so
yeah,
that's a lot of peace of mind for people too. Just not to feel like you're all alone and you're out there floundering in the sea and you have no idea, where to go or what to do. So that was helpful.
It's why I have a coach.
Yep.
All right. Well, fantastic. Really, really great one. Thank you guys so much for all of you listening. As always, much love and aloha. Bye, gang.
Yeah.